Hey everybody, it's Seth, and I wanted to make a video for you today about a particular kind of awareness that you might not think about so often, but it is actually really valuable and can do a lot for you in your movement practice and in your general awareness practice, and that is the awareness of space. Okay, so obviously there's space all around you. You're not in a vacuum, you're in some kind of environment. Here I am in my home and I'm in a particular room, and there's a feeling that comes with that. It does not feel the same to be in this room as it is if I'm outside or if I'm in some other place. Okay, so how can you use this? Well, there's a couple ways we can do it. One is just through a simple kind of a scan. So you may already know how to do a kind of a body scan where maybe you're lying on the floor and you're noticing the different parts of your body. You can do a scan related to your breathing, observing how your breath comes and goes. But something that you may not have tried before is a kind of a spatial awareness scan. And so it could work in the following way. I'm basically going to give you a series of questions, and whatever happens when I ask the question, that kind of is your answer. But you'll see how this works. So if I asked you, how far away is the wall to your left or to your right? Can you feel that distance? And maybe you want to turn and look and see where the wall is. But for me, for example, I have a wall over here that's fairly close, and that wall is further away. And if I try to sense this distance and sense that distance, it does not feel the same. How far is the ceiling above your head? There is a feeling associated with that distance. And even though I might not be able to turn and look right away, I can ask, how far away is the wall behind me? In other words, I'm just trying to sense, where am I in this environment? And when I tune in to those spaces, something happens. Now, just to make this a little more concrete, let's combine this for a moment with the breathing. So if you look around your space that you're in right now, just notice something that's close to you and something that's further away. Again, for me, the wall on my left is pretty close. On my right, it's a little further away. So if I take a moment to breathe and pay attention to this distance on the left side, I'm going to see what that feels like. And so my attention is actually over here, and what my intention encounters is a particular area that has a particular size to it, and there's a particular feeling, because of course I have my own size and I fit into this space. Now, if I breathe again and I think of this space over here, which is a larger space, it's quite different. Now, I don't want to get into the details of how that was different for me, because I don't want to suggest to you that it should be a particular thing. But the key thing here is simply by shifting my attention to one side of the room and to the other and noticing the relationship, I was able to feel that something changed in my breathing. My breathing felt different. So another way that you can apply this, you have some kind of a movement practice, you're working on something, I don't know what it would be. I'm just going to give you a really simple movement here, which you might not think is all that important to practice, but it's enough for our example. So if I just want to lift my arm up over my head, right? I can lift up my arm over my head, and I see how that feels. And there's a way that I could just have all my attention inside of myself. I'm just listening to my body. I'm trying to feel, does it take a lot of effort to lift my arm up like this? But my arm is traveling through space. It's traveling forward and up, and my arm itself, it has this side, it's got all this different surface to it. So my attention could be anywhere in my arm, and it could also be in relation to my environment. So now, as I bring my hand forward and up, I'm thinking about how I'm taking my hand towards the ceiling. And I'm just feeling that. In other words, I'm including the ceiling in the relationship that my hand is getting closer to the ceiling in what I'm doing. Okay, so when we do these kinds of experiments, especially I can feel right now my arm gets tired if I do that a number of times. So it's important to pause and leave a space so that you can come again to the next piece of the experiment. And in general, you don't want to increase the effort or decrease the effort when you go from one variation to the other. If you try an experiment where you do one thing and then you do the next, and the second thing feels a little more difficult, that's what you want to feel. You don't want to say, well, let me just even it up. So if I lift my arm up again, but I think that I'm taking my hand away from the floor, how does that change things? Okay, so once I might think I'm taking my hand away from the floor, and then I could pause, and then I could think I'm taking my hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, again, there were changes I felt that I don't want to try to describe to you because I don't want to give the expectation that it does a certain thing, aside from the fact that it reframes your attention. And the way you use your attention is crucial to the quality of any movement you make. That's a theme you're going to see in a lot of the videos on this channel. You could maybe experiment with this idea of sending your attention into space in different directions. It's partly just a way to really ground yourself in the environment. If this is what animals do, if they find themselves in an unfamiliar place, they just look around, what's going on? And this can be part of kind of just calming the nervous system, even if you're at home in a familiar surrounding, to look around and say, okay, there's the window, there's the light, there's my bookcase over there. This is a way of just situating yourself and also noticing, oh, there are no scary monsters here, there's no one trying to kill me, everything's all right. But in addition, when it comes to playing with movement, playing with the breath, playing with other pieces of your awareness practice, try this idea of situating your attention in different spaces, behind you, above you, in front of you. You get the idea. I hope this was helpful to you, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a lot more videos coming soon. And if you want to take things one step further, check out my website, movewithseth.com. I've got cool programs there that I'm sure you'll enjoy as well. So take a look. All right, see you next time.